Schizophrenia is a genetic disorder whose hidden causes are a combination of genetic variations that affect the development of the brain and neural connections mixed with environmental stress factors. Schizophrenia affects about 1% of the U.S. adult population and becomes prevalent around late adolescence or early adulthood. Schizophrenia affects the brain due to the brain messenger system malfunctioning because of mutated neurotransmitters. Heredity is said to account for about 79% of the risk for schizophrenia, and environmental factors are responsible for the other 21% of genes. The DISC1 protein, or disrupted in schizophrenia 1 gene, plays a major role in the development of schizophrenia. Both neuroguanine and dysbindin are amongst the few genes that have been identified to be directly linked to causing schizophrenia.
Our genetic test is a SNP chip design that detects changes in the genes that are associated with schizophrenia. TPH1 is a gene affected by RS1800532. People with the AA genotype are vulnerable to the mental disease. RS3738401 is a SNP in the DISC1 gene. The two versions of the SNP are C and G, but the GG genotype results in schizophrenia. Our SNP test tests for 100 variants of DNA because that is about how many SNPs have a significant effect on the onset of schizophrenia. By only testing 100 DNA variations, we are simultaneously testing for the most important SNPs while minimizing cost.
This test is proven to be beneficial in many different areas. You should take this test because the genetic variations in these SNPs have alleles that cause a significant increase in a person's risk of developing schizophrenia. This has many positive implications. Early detection would allow time for patients, families, and doctors to predict risk, seek help, aid diagnosis, search treatment options, and allow opportunities to make better life decisions. This would also allow time for people to prepare financially and stabilize before the disorder sets in.
A genetic test does not guarantee that you will get the results you desire about your risk for schizophrenia. Many times, alleles that show up on a SNP chip test could only account for a slight increase in the risk of schizophrenia. One example of this is the gene RS13194504. This gene shows up in variations that affect the trait of schizophrenia, but its alleles only indicate if the base pairing is normal or that there is a slightly lower risk for schizophrenia. This can be deceiving to a patient that just paid for a test to find out if they would inherit the disorder or not. Therefore, if you decide to try out our genetic test, you must be cautious that some genes can be very vague on whether you will develop the disease or not.
When you receive the results from our genetic test, we recommend that you share them with your healthcare provider. Your results will be beneficial to your relatives also because they will learn if testing could be useful for them.